Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it good? Hi. Hi, I'm Kolu. Thank you all for coming. Thank you again for inviting me and then having this platform. I'm reading several texts that I wrote sort of earlier go along with a body of work called The Third Lie, which is something that I kind of create and rewrite a mythical story to kind of talking about like the historic realism of like representation in terms of a certain body might not exist in the history because lack of representation, as if like a blind person might be seen as a curse in the history, their voice and language might not be like presented and then reserved to the to nowadays that we see as history that we read and understand as such. So, and then a lot of text that I've been writing is coming from like a autobiographical point of view, and then with a fictional aspect of that. And then I think a lot about like Frederick Jameson's realism and desire, how it explore like novel as a genre that you kind of transforming the telling into the showing, and then in the same way of like creative individual that we choose a certain kind of platform that we kind of express ourselves either through text, installation, sound, performance. And then really interestingly, also in response to Gordon's text, that it is about a body. And then some old text is about a body that was trapped in a temporary disability and illness. And then now this body is in transition into kind of just removed from binary, and then not always being like recognizable externally. So that's pretty much the intro of this. I'm gonna dive in. So it is a several piece of poetry. So bear with me, and a lot of it kind of like addressing to a you. So the first piece, what I'm gonna write, is originally written for my friend Jordan's Strafer's group. She have like a focus group that talking about what does truth has to do with love. So I'm gonna start with that. What does the truth has to do with love? What does the truth has to do with anything actually? And I like that you may say, tired mouth becomes simply a mouth that altered, changed shapes. How crumbles delicious have fallen in as an invitation. Does it ever move? The worst part of her was her mouth hanging, big round mirror, make it seems never ending, around the sink. Every place in the room and every room are filled with its own ashes from the house fire, and the house is over. The space called room, although it changes parts, and then with different type of tools in search of the perfect incision. It is sudden and it is clear and it is red, blood. Viviana's leather jacket, tomatoes, copper, stop traffic lights, animals. Sometimes I would drain the blood to eliminate odor. She cannot smell. As if at the lowest speed, rotation, that is 3-blade propeller. It's never anything but the approach of it. I have lost something, and this lost has no other purpose than generating a lost, particular skin fold. Then I'm rendering unnecessarily, and consequently more likely to be dismissed. Once the violence is detached from the intention, one is able to say violence without choosing to say it. After treatment, it is normal that you will be in pain, and this pain can stay up for 5 days. You can treat this pain by the counter. Whenever I don't see her, never mind if the light hit her on the side. I receive grace without rendering any service in return, being the most worthless, to end where it begins. Wanted to scream her name, but because I have to think of a place I could do it, I crack my tongue. I'm getting too close. The housefly cannot bite or sting, but its physical structure and feeding habits make it a carrier of disease and death, even in the leftover house. And in plaster cast, composite features, for only the ones who love can no longer be perceived. Open your mouth, shut your eyes. Be deposited into the sink. Could withhold any sense of middleness. That is so far. Accommodation. If consider if the most colloquial definition, a story. So I'm going to follow in some older piece that is, it's about the fictional aspect of a certain illness, long illness. So, okay. First reversal. I went to Eritrea to get my lung tissue removed. Along the drive there, a familiar wind was blowing, a wind I had came across before. Say I was an animal, master and spontaneous, walking in the wind with a brisk, determined step as every morning, in the flatland gateway to the west where the highest altitude was 100 feet, somewhere called Cahokia Months. Yet I wanted to go back to my bed and lie there, motionless, without thoughts, without desires, lie there until the moment that I felt the presence of that thing, which is not voice, taste, or smell, simply a very vague memory, something from the borders of the memory. It was nearly 2 years ago when I come to carve you out, you offensive, flaming slightly, with a warm humidity. They put me in the OR, slide a thin tube through my nose, down the throat into my lungs, my stomach sunk. The space in between the ribs, the ancient bacteria latches on both ends, true and primitive, one at a time. The small imported mechanism attaches everything coming inward. The air smudged into gas, the liquefaction exhausts the perfume of rot. And someone is standing and weeping in a glass telephone booth. Some part of the cloud is an organ of sentiment. Would you like my spoon? I never asked her. Love does not make me gentle or kind, I thought. It's like waiting for your hair to grow. Waking up in the isolation ward, I was exhausted by the exhaustion and the sound of sorrow. The sound of sorrow, you have to fine-tune it so you're not ending up weeping. There is something exquisite knowing without breathing this illness would not exist. Memory is exhausting too. Right before I carved you out, it was the first time I drove through the desert, or we drove through the desert. It was not outback, there was no desert oak, no ghost gum, no bulb tree, just rows of great white daggers, where she got me a rock named Sepultarians. It was founded approximately 100 million years ago when the Gulf of Mexico reaches what is now South Utah. Decomposing sea life killed by volcanic eruptions, trapping the crack inside, then covered by sediment. A thin wall of calcite transformed into aragonite, dividing the massive clay exteriors from the centers. Because of this dividing wall, the geos are called sepultarians. A rock trapped millions of separation by the volcano. She cradled it in her forearm. Fire is closing up my lungs. I drove an incredible amount of distance, but I still hear her crying. Everything heavy and mortal sleeps sideways. Her funeral, 9 years after she fell in love, driving, sits unprotected smoking. You don't know me, she said. I have a dog. Her stories of stubbornness, fears, Christmas dinner, dope kindness, refused to talk about the past. English idioms she usually avoid was the light of my life, that's the one she does use. That one. She was a bartender. That one I want to marry. Tears fell by the canal. Swans stripped down the water, washing the body. The gerund dive is a verb expressing obligation necessity. She dies of incredible longing. Most people step off. And this last piece, it's a little bit, it's something that I had experienced a symptom of anhedonia, which is like unable to feel a lot of feelings. That's like a core symptom of depression, byproduct of illness. But this is kind of like a internal monologue that I was thinking at the time. And then this will be the last piece of this reading. Crave. You're dead to me. Lies. I could be free of you without having to lose you. You who needed to have a secret, but cannot help telling. And it is you whom I look for all over the city. There is something in the way. 2 summers ago, I was brave. No one died, but I lost my grandfather. I enjoy anniversaries, the mood you can repeat without having to relive the event. Either it is too trivial or too painful to bear. I must be PMSing. It is hard to tell what are your feelings. I have always loved having my back massaged. A good soap ladder when I'm bathing has sometimes soothed and refreshed me. The sound of the rain falling on the roof has made me feel snug and secure, and the first winter snowfall has often looked pretty to me. When I have walked by a bakery, the smell of fresh bread has often made me hungry. I have often enjoyed the feel of silk, velvet, or fur, and I have been fascinated with the dancing of flames in the fireplace. On hearing a good song, I often wanted to sing along with it. I have usually found lovemaking to be intensively pleasurable. When I have seen a statue, I have the urge to feel it. I have usually found soft music relaxing. The smell of dinner cooking always aroused my appetite. On seeing a soft, thick carpet, I have sometimes had the impulse to take off my shoes and walk bare feet on it. The warmth of an open fireplace especially soothes and calms me. I often feel comfortable when my friends touch me. I have always had a number of favorite foods. I find thunderstorms exhilarating. Sex is the most intensively enjoyable thing in life. I have often enjoyed receiving a strong, warm handshake. When eating a favorite food, I've often tried to eat slowly to make it last longer. The taste of food has always been important to me. It has always made me feel good when someone I care about reaches out to touch me. Someone has died who is not dead, because love by its nature desires future. Futuring is time passing, and I don't have time. I lay sideways, reading the last letter from her over and over. I have a body that wraps in wrinkles. It's all I got and all I ever had. And I have a bad feeling about this bad feeling. It is this woman with the deserted eyes for whom I would die. Maybe in this way she will be gone. Water flowing from her blue eyes until it dries, make an ocean center in her palm. Sunny landscape, pastel wall, gentle air conditioning. I have often found walks to be relaxing and enjoyable. I have sometimes enjoyed feeling the strength in my muscles. Long before I have a chance to adore all of you, I adore bits of you. One fine morning in the month of June, you were born with no middle name, eyes full of sun. Thank you.